Hey guys, it's Supreme Lemon here with your quick and dirty 2-star guide to creatures. First up, I'm going to be talking about a lot of buffs and debuffs, and I'm going to show you the only place where I know where to find these and read about them. You have to go into a campaign area, you find that gear in the top right, you hit the help button, and you've got your list of buffs and debuffs. So if you're confused about anything I've said or want to read more about it, there they are. I'll be exiting this. Another thing to note is that if you want to look at some of the creatures I talk about, they can all be found in the main menu at this button, the golden statue man. It's a Colossus, I believe. Alright, let's kick it off. First up we have the Air Golem. This unit is a great unit because with one book you can get it down to 100% increased defense and increased healing effects. A lot of characters don't cast it as often as he does. It's 2 turns. And the thing is, this defense doesn't have anything attached to it. It's just raw raised defense with that other effect. A lot of characters have a heal attached to it, meaning that they won't prioritize casting raised defense unless your characters are missing HP, like the fire angels or the water trent. This is dangerous for your attackers, so this unit's better for raised defense. It'll just keep everybody alive. There's also the Null Warrior, which is like a poor man's one, but it's a waste of time in my opinion. Alright, that's it. His other skills just great. Lowers the turn bar and stuff. Next up we have the Arcane Bird. The Arcane Bird is a great unit. It's one of only 2 characters in the 3-star under category that apply the protective mark to your entire team. You can read what it does there. 40% incoming damage reduced for 2 turns. That's one of 2, and it's 40% damage reduction. It's great. It'll keep your team alive. Everything else is just a bonus. 75% of decreasing speed, cool. Decreasing its height, these are huge debuffs, so this character is great for keeping your characters alive. Don't feel afraid to invest books in any of these characters that I'm going to list. Next up we have our healers. We're having the Water Nymph right here. This only changes in healing value, but it's a 2-turn regeneration buff, which applies heals based on each character's HP. It's usable in 3 turns. It means it's up most of the time. Characters casting it pretty often. There's not a lot of healers that do that. The other one's a blind, which is good, but notable is the heal. Another character that heals pretty often is this one, the Unicorn, the Nature Unicorn. If you get a cooldown on it, this is a reusable in 2 turns. So it's a 2-turn heal that cleanses them and heals them for a large amount. It's a great unit. Next up we have the Air Fawn. I will be putting a list of where to read or hear about most of these characters in my description of the video. Okay, here's heals an ally for 300 plus 30% of his max HP. So you stack HP on this character and he gives a fat heal around there. I don't think it's worth skilling up. The cooldown's down there. I mean, yeah, you can invest in books and not feel bad. It'll be a 2-turn heal. If you can't get a better healer, that would be great. The other one increases defense. It's on a long cooldown, but it's just an added bonus. Alright, next up we have not so notable healers, so I won't be going through this, but I will mention them. You can find them in the menagerie. The Water Pixie, the Nature Pixie, all the other nymphs, like the Fire Nymph, but it's a 3-star, it's great. And these ones aren't so worth it, the Air and Water Lizard Shaman. I don't know how useful they are. Alright, well, other than that, next up we have our Poisoners. This one's a great one. She'll speed up your runs. It's an AoE guaranteed chance to poison them. A lot of them have like a sort of a chance, like 65, 50% chance to poison all enemies, but these units that I'm going to mention have a guaranteed chance to poison them for 2 turns. This one's reusable on a 6-turn cooldown. You can get it up, but I don't think she needs to. That's a lot of bucks. The first ability increases their speed, decreases the enemy speed. It's just great for turn bars. Next up we have the Air Basilisk. This character is great. I'm going to have to thank Fleehoo from Reddit for pretty much helping me get faith back in this character. I've got mine up to 90% now. Notable about this character is that when it crits, it steals 70%. So it's not a chance to. If it crits, it does this. It steals 75. Well, actually, no, it's not like that. They can resist it. But this character can attack like 4 to 5 times in a row, and it can shut down a boss, and it can stack single target poisons by itself. That's great for bosses. It can get a total of 8 debuffs of poison on a character. Like if it's only poison, you can get a huge amount of poison on somebody. Great for damage, great for Tower of Trials. You just need some crit glyphs and this character will get going. It's a great unit. Something to note though, if you take this character into the Wrath dungeon, there's a Nature Harpy in there that puts a prevent death mechanic on units. If you continually steal that unit's turn, it will never lose the prevent death buff. So your run will basically end if you have high enough crit. So yeah, if you're going to take him into the Wrath dungeon, you're going to want a Purger. Let's look up. Next we have other AoE poisoners. So you're going to compare the Air Rogue. I don't have this one actually. The Nature Basilisk, which is right here. Great unit, stuns characters, and then has a stun on them. So he has a single target stun. Doesn't need any books. It has a reusable in 5 turns, so it's more often than the air, but the air has more utility. Next is actually the unit that I like. You can actually farm it. It's the Fire Degen. It's decreases their accuracy 5 turn, 2 turn poison. So it's a 5 turn cooldown, 2 turn poison, and it attacks, which is great. It also debuffs pretty often. So this unit, you don't have to feel bad about putting books into her. And that's the 3 AoE poisoners. That's it for normal compositions, but let's get some honorable mentions in here. This character is worth keeping, the Nature Degen for the new guild raid, because of this attack. Attack based on their HP. I'm sure there's a lot of videos showing how hard she can hit, but yeah, that's a great mechanic for the guild raid. Alright, next up, we're gonna go back to our creatures. Here's some farmers. You take these characters into the campaign to level your other characters. This is one of them. This is the Water Stone Guard. The counterattack mechanic is great in scenarios because whenever they hit him, he can just smack them back and he's constantly shielding himself. And then you have an attack all in taunt, which is good. And if you evolve him, the thing is the counterattack will apply one of these mechanics to the counterattacks because they're actual attacks. Okay, next up, what do we have? We have the Fire Harpy. This character is a great farming character because if you get enough speed and attack on this character, it just one-shots things, and then you get this thing going. Grants another turn if an attack brings down an enemy. So this character can just constantly attack and just destroy whole waves by itself. Great unit for farming the scenario and getting experience and getting your achievements done. The achievements are a good way to get like summons and gold and your free rewards. Oops. Alright, some more honorable mentions are something revolving around a mechanic in the game that I think is an amazing mechanic that isn't on a lot of characters. First up we have the increased duration of negative effects. This one you can't improve it at all, it's only 1 turn, but think of it like this. Every debuff that your team puts on an enemy, this character has it attached to this skill. So this basically this move removes a positive effect from them and lowers attack, lowers defense, poisons. Actually, this character you can poison with this ability. And then it has this, prevents an enemy from receiving, so it blocks buffs and then it poisons them for 4 turns. Once for 2 turns and then once again for 2 turns. It's an amazing unit. This is great for killing bosses. The better version of this is actually, I consider it better, but they do different things. This character, she buffs your entire team, and with 2 skill ups, if you get lucky, you can get a 4 turn cooldown on this buff. Speed, crit chance, crit damage, great. And this one actually increases their duration by 2 turns. So it's a 3 turn use, but it increases by 2. So it's a 2 turn poison and whatever else debuffs you have. Great unit, worth putting books into. Next up we have the buff and debuff oriented characters. We have the Air Unicorn, which blocks buffs. It's a rare mechanic. It's great, useful. A lot of bosses you want to prevent them from getting buffs or certain characters. Also, removes 2 negative effects from all allies. There's no other character that removes 2. There's some that remove 1, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth scaling up. Oh yeah, you can get 1 skill up. So it'll be a 5 turn cooldown and it removes 2. That's a great cleanse. Paired with that block buff, you're good. The other one I won't bring up, I don't even know if I have her. I think I might have fed her or something. But it's the Air Pixie. The Air Pixie is like the reverse of the Air Unicorn, where it purges 2 effects, where it's an AoE purge. So if that's something you want to think about, or if it's something useful in the future, usually you just end up burning the enemy team. You just kill them, other than arena, of course. But like when you're hitting waves, you just kind of AoE and cleave them all to death. So you don't really have to worry about purging them most of the time. Alright, that's it for the most useful characters. There are some other notable mentions where if you have couple better gloves and you haven't been lucky enough to get some 3 stars and you want something to attack with, you can use something like the Air Witch, which has this double attack all enemies, which is high damage, and it has a single target bomb. And it doesn't take too much skill up. I got unlucky, ended up using a lot of boasts, but 1 cooldown, so this is a 2 turn cooldown, 3 times zone attack bomb. Needs a little accuracy, but it's still good. The next one is the Air Harpy, which I don't think I have. Maybe I do actually. No, I don't have it. But the Air Harpy has a second skill that has an attack scaling and a speed scaling. It's just more damage attached to its AoE, and it's a support unit, so it's a good unit to look into. The next 2 are characters with double attack all units, which makes their attack just that much more helpful. See, attacks all. Attacks all. This is the Nature Ghost. She's good unit, low cooldowns, AoE. Next one would be the Water Witch. Same thing, except the where is it? The Water Witch. The AoE is a bomb on the second turn. It's kind of a high cooldown. I don't know. You can get it down by 1, so it'll be 5 turns. And after 4 turns, so it's a little bit slower, but it also has this prevents them from receiving healing and it attacks all. So 2 AoE abilities worth mentioning. Like I said, though, at this point you'll likely have 3-star units that are going to outclass all of these. Alright. Well, if I missed anything, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll try and keep the content coming. Thank you, everyone.